Welcome to the show. I'm Josh Siegel. This is Broadcast Guitar. We're going to be taking a deep dive tonight on, where is he? David Byrne from the Talking Heads. We're going to do a tune called Strange Overtones from the album, you'd think I would know, from one of his albums. It's the one he did with, one of the ones he did with Brian Eno. And let's see what else we got here. It all comes together when I actually start clicking the buttons. Okay, here we are. It is Monday. Let's see what we got. David Byrne. Okay, the things for this song. Strange Overtones. The hot topics are the elusive inverted minor 3 chord. Don't let that scare you. It's just a big name for an E minor where we remove the E. Lydian vibes. I put a little smiley face because it's a loose term. We'll look at that. That's a mode. And then let's work that melody in. Pretty simple tune in terms of just the structure. So there's a nice level 1 way to play this. And then if you start working that melody in, you can make it as tough as you want. And it's just a great song. We're going to level our way through. We'll do a warm-up, do some counting, get to know the fretboard so we can speak notes. One thing to note about this song is, at least the version I figured out, capo the first fret because it's in C sharp. But I learned a long time ago it gets too crazy if you try to capo in this live class. So we're just going to learn it in C, and then when you play it by yourself, if you want to play along with the album, put that capo on, and everything we talk about will still apply. Let me play the tune, and you heard it at the top there. I'm just going to kind of play it by myself, and then we will theorize. Like I said, he plays it with the capo on, or you will if you play it in the key of C and you want to play with the record. I would do it like this. Let's see. See if I can find that chorus a little more. All right, we're doing it in the key of C. Let's get the C major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Never hurts to get some reps on your major scale. Whole step, half, whole step, half. Again, that's in Music Theory 101 if you're new to that. C, whole step to D, whole step to E, half step to F, whole step to G, whole step to A, whole step to B, half step back to C. The way we make chords is you stack every other note. It takes 3 notes to make a chord. So the first chord would be C, E, G. Those are the notes in there. Second chord would be D, F, A. Third chord would be E, G, B. The fourth chord would be made of F, A, C. Fifth chord, G, B, D. Sixth chord, A, C, E. Seventh chord, B, D, F. And you're back to C, E, G. Very helpful to know what notes are in the chords you're playing, especially as you're taking a solo or trying to work the melody in. Notice there's no like D sharp, there's no A flat. So once you know your fretboard and you're trying to play in this key, everything in this song is in there. So you wouldn't, unless you were trying to play something kind of like dissonant, you would just know as you're reaching for notes, it's going to be one of those 7, because every chord's made out of those. So take my word for it. The first chord is major, write it with an uppercase. Second chord's minor, third chord's minor, the fourth chord's major, the fifth chord is major, sixth chord is minor, the seventh chord is minor diminished, and you're back to the 1. Now remember, the song is this: F, C, E minor, G. So as we analyze it, I'm gonna nudge this up a little bit. The song, what do we say? It goes F, 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 C. We'll just say E minor. G, does that fit? Good. G, C, G. That's that right there. So take a look up top. Let's analyze it. We've got this chord. Maybe we'll make our life easier. Just this one. I'm seeing that's in there. Oh, sorry. We got this one. We got this one and this one. So you can make your life easier, even though you know the notes in the scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. I'm a big believer, kind of clear up some space in your mind. We're not going to need that. We're not going to need that. We're not going to need that. And we'll just get rid of that so you don't have to see another thing. So the whole skeleton of the song is made out of that. And then lastly, so we could analyze this real quick. We could do, this is your 4. This is your 1. This is your minor 3. And there's your 5. So the song has 5 measures of the 4 chord, 1 measure of the 1, 2 measures of the 3, and then essentially it's 2 measures of the 5 chord. There's just that little passing C chord in there. So there's my analysis of it. So the last thing I would say is look at that E minor, because when you see this on the chord chart, E minor over B, what that's telling you is you're putting it's an E minor chord where you're going to put the B in the lowest position. So instead of voicing it or spelling it as E, G, B, you'd basically just spell it as B, E, G. That right there. That's this. So you'll notice as we play it, I'll show you real quick. I'll show you on the guitar what I mean by that. Okay. So trust that your brain absorbed that. We will be talking about it. Let's figure it out together. So underneath it all, F is your 4 chord. Da, 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 da. You can play it as a bar chord. If you can't play bar chords, you could play, you're in luck, because I mean, you do want to be able to play your bar chords, but if you're at a place where you're still working on those, you could play an F major 7, F, A, C, E, and there's a lot of major 7 in the melody that we'll talk about. So that chord will get you by. You could play a big old F chord. 3. I personally, at this tempo, maybe would just go downstrokes. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the 1 chord. C is made of C, E, G. And now remember, he doesn't, you hear, he does go to an E minor, but if you put that E in the bass, kind of like it's too dark, it takes over, where he really wants to get this feeling. You can almost hear what I was talking about with that take my breath away thing. That song would go to like this. But that was kind of the first time that I noticed that chord, so I always think of it that way. And I always tell you guys, you kind of like cement music theory concepts in, to me, I think you cement them in songs. So I always think of that as the take my breath away chord progression. But in strange overtones, you're going to want a C And then this is where your pick control really matters, because you could play an E minor, but to really accent the B, I wouldn't want to hit that low E string. So I just want to only hit 5 strings right there. Da, 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 G, da, 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 da. So it's da, 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 da. There's an F major 7. Da, 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 da. You could play it as an F. This is your level 1 way. C is the 1. Da, 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 da. Here's our inverted 3. Da, 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 G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, even though I'm eager to get into the melody, let's just talk about funk music and picking for a second, because that is a high priority in David Byrne's music. It is funk music after all. So really tight. So when I do that warm up and I go 1 E and a 2 E, and at that speed, down, down is fine. But I always tell you guys, you usually want your upstroke to be for a reason, which is just like it's too fast to go down, down. So because it's a quick one, you're going 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and. So right there, 1 E and. And a pretty good rule is down on the downbeat, 1, up on the offbeat. In the case of the 16th note, it would be E. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Once you internalize that and get that going, then you basically just rev the engine. And there's a lot in there that's definitely leveling up. Now, as we start to analyze how those notes play with the chords, that melody's over that F. So that's why I was saying that F major 7 is going to sound great. I would hit the D with my pinky to keep that chord alive. Notice the melody does eventually resolve into a note in the chord. That's C right there. Because an F chord is F, A, C. So as you start to analyze melodies, you'll see that they tend to eventually resolve into a note in the chord. Now right here, C also has an E in it. Those are all right in the chord. G, C, because the C chord is C, E, G. Then we go to that E minor. Now here you'd actually probably want to play your E minor like this. E minor over B. Remember, the B is the lowest note we're going to play. That way I can have some fingers free. I can hit that B, C, D, C, B, C, and then that final D resolves into the G chord, because the G chord is made of G, B, and D. So one more time. Hands it off to the C chord. B, C, D, C, B, C. D is the melody into the G chord. Then we got, for the chorus, first, one quick note. I think of the verse is very major 7th-y. F, A, C, E. A major 7th chord is where you play a major chord and then you add a note that's a half step lower than the root. So what note is a half step lower than an F? It's an E. That's how you get that F major 7. And his voice is just pedaling on that high E. Da, 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 da. But to me, that's F major 7 all the way. However, then in the chorus, it's F6. That's where you play a major chord and add the 6th note of its scale, which is F. We're talking F right for a second as we analyze that chord. F, G, A, B flat, C, D is the 6th note of the F scale. So notice as you play an F chord with a D in it, that makes it into an F6. So the chorus is very Danger Overtones. He's just kind of pedaling on that D, making it an F6, and then finally resolves it to that C, which is in an F chord. So and that little lead-in is A, C, D, 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 E, C. Da, 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 da. So then that little lead in is again is A, C, and then he plays it over that E minor. Da, 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 da. Finally goes up to there, that G dominant 7, a G with an F in it. Hey, Josh from Broadcast Guitar here. Hope you've been digging these videos. This is just the tip of the iceberg. If you'd like to access the full-length lessons, get the handwritten tabs, or better yet, participate in my live weekly classes, Q&A sessions, and special guest interviews, head on over to Broadcast Guitar's Patreon and start your free trial today. I look forward to working on some music with you.